Where's the street?
Alright, I will do a little house cleaning and then proceed on to criticizing Mark. I did a video, Mike Rinder Loses Ally, and the subject of that video, Nora, has left a long comment, and there have been some pro Nora comments. Those will be left up, but you have to realize I don't control YouTube. I've noticed this in other videos. People leave comments, but then sometimes it's not visible. This is not an intentional conspiracy, and I want Nora to tell her side of the story. So if you've seen your comments or not been able to be visible, then just let me know. I will try to post them somewhere. I would like to pin Nora's comment, but I'm already pinning, basically promoting my other channel. The channel is called Examining Kubrick. I do a little bit of cult stuff there, but there I concentrate on Ayn Rand. I will try to be more balanced in the future. So if you want more extra Scientology content and quote unquote anti-cult pop culture reviews and content, you can go there. All right, with that out of the way, let us proceed to criticize Mark. And interestingly, me and Nora converged there. So what happened? Well, Marc Headley with Claire Headley have been very close to Mike Rinder, and they are a little bit different. Mike was in OSA, which is the spy slash intelligence part of the Scientology cult, and the Headleys were very high up in there too, but they were part of the Sea Org. And they did suffer terribly. Like Mark did a lot of demeaning jobs. And Claire, if you know the Sea Org, you cannot have children, so she was forced to have abortions against her will. So she's definitely a victim, and she definitely suffered a lot. However, that's her. The worst that Mark got is he had many demeaning jobs. However, his story of heroism is, like Mike Rinder, kind of a bit of a fiction. So what happened is that there was a big scandal on the Aftermath Foundation, and in my opinion, there was a coup d'etat. Claire, Mark, Mike, and others on the board kicked Aaron out for very suspicious reasons. I've already done a few videos on it. I will do more.
I need a himbo. I'm holding out for a himbo till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be dumb and polite. I need a himbo. I'm holding out for a himbo till the morning light. He's gotta be dumb and he's gotta be sweet.
And offering them to me.
Pow.
And for a long time, Mark did not really address the controversy. Now in his dissertation, he still doesn't really address the controversy directly, but he does so by implication. And his basic statement is that we don't understand that for 18 years he's been putting in the hard work. And it looks easy being in Hollywood, doing a TV series, doing a podcast, and writing a book and making money from all this, but it is hard work, and he's been very active against Scientology. I don't think anybody can deny that. The controversy is over his claiming victim status much greater than others, and claiming to be kind of a pseudo leader in the movement. And it got worse because he put out the statement, which frankly got ridiculed by many people, including Nora, and I am joining her because it was pretty silly, and then he erased the comments. That was really stupid because it's been archived, and Alonzo has it on his blog. I'm going to post some excerpts here, but you can go to his blog. It was just a silly mess. The basic dilemma here is Claire and him were victims, but they were special victims, and not in a good way, because this was legally proved. He made it sound like his escape from Scientology was very traumatic. It was no doubt difficult, but it wasn't as bad as others. The basic gist here is he had several opportunities to leave them. Where he was situated on the so-called gold base, he had his own residence, and knowing Scientology, it was probably, dingy and very small. However, he was not like the others. He literally could leave at any time. Granted, you leave with little money, you have lack of social connections, right? Hence the Aftermath Foundation, right? It is very difficult to leave, but he wasn't like he was, quote, being held against his will. He literally could have just physically left many times, but he and Claire tried to have a lawsuit against Scientology, and I support them, but that's because, yeah, I want the church to suffer, but frankly, legally, it was a very weak case. And even according to California law, yeah, these were demeaning jobs, but you had the ability to leave. So he's just been really misguiding people on how traumatic his exit was. I'm sure it was very harsh, but for him to equate himself to other victims, including victims of Mike Rinder, and then to become a staunch ally and friend of Mike Rinder, and frankly to backstab Aaron out of nowhere for no reason, it just is really silly. Is he doing some good work? Yes, I would praise him there. He has spread the good message. I am spreading the good message about the evils of the church. And I do think they deserve some compensation from the church for their really ugly activities. But the lawsuit was very flawed. And legally, I have to be honest, and I study law seriously. Unfortunately, I have to conclude the court was correct. They just didn't have a strong lawsuit. They lost. It was terrible. It was financially draining, but they had the chance to leave. They had several chances to leave. They just were not like other victims. And for them to try to make it seem like they are is frankly very disingenuous and very misleading. So I do feel sorry for them, but for him to post this idiotic statement of heroism, as I think, well, just exposes that he's been around Mike Rinder too long and he really needs to, no pun intended, disconnect from that very bad influence.
And I said, yes, sir, I've heard about it. And he said, so what is it? And I said, well, if you're...
I'm holding out for a himbo till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be dumb and polite. I need a himbo. I'm holding out for a himbo till the morning light. He's gotta be dumb and he's gotta be sweet. Supportive, respectful and kind. Respectful and kind.
I know Marc Headley, he offered me some crackers. I think I ate about 4 of them. He had licked the salt off every single cracker before putting it back in the package and offering them to me.
Pow!
To be fake, with no reblogs or taste, and he's gotta be blocked out of spite. I need a man whore! I'm holding out for a man whore who's been causing strife. He's got a beguile with a stolen profile, and he's gotta be on Tumblr Live. On Tumblr Live.